Kids feel really entitled these days, Kim.
Yeah, but we made those monsters, Kim,
I didn't. I just tried to raise them.
and you spoiled them.
At this point, I'm with Monique. F them kids.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of a juicy podcast. I'm Kim,
I'm Kim.
and today we're going to talk about
Self-care.
self-care. She had to think about it, make sure she wanted some self-care.
Right.
And self-care can come in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it comes into taking care of our skin,
Yes.
taking care of our hair,
Yes.
taking care of how we dress and the things we wear.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest and most important thing is taking care of your own mental well-being.
Mm-hmm.
And today, that will be part of our focus, taking care of your own mental well-being.
Okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that we, as African Americans, do not take the time out enough to do so. You know? It's okay. I mean, we talk to our friends and our
Yes.
family sometimes, but it's okay to get a therapist. Oh, I said it.
The T word.
Oh, I said it.
She said it.
I said therapist. Oh, I said it again. I do see a therapist once a month. I started last year. And a few sessions in, she was like, you don't need me. You need an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so she told me some avenues, you know, like getting into these groups and that groups. And I necessarily didn't want to go to a place, you know, every day necessarily to be an outlet. And she suggested, y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. So, you know, and that's how this channel was semi-formed, besides me dragging Kim, kicking and screaming and all that stuff. But she happy she here, yeah. She happy she here.
So
Just like becoming my best friend. But I'm pinning that story here, there.
well, let me ask you, how did you get to the place where you felt like you needed therapy? Like, what sparked the thought and gave you the courage? You know, what was it that?
Well, towards the end of last year, I felt
Take your time.
defeated a little.
Okay.
You know, I felt relationship wise, I wasn't where I wanted to be. I felt not necessarily career wise, but in my business, I, you know, wanted to do something, but I didn't know where I wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at the Special Victims Unit. That's what I was looking at.
What happens when you get older? Sometimes you get a thought and it just run off.
Right. I was looking at special. I was trying to remember what I was looking at. I was looking at Special Victims Unit.
It's gonna be juicy. See, she laughing. That's when the juice coming. Come on with the bring the juice.
I was saying the words, word for word.
Yes,
I do the damn script, word for word.
Oh, okay.
And I said, hold up, Kim, you didn't watch this episode too much because you said her part.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm like, oh, it's got to be something more. So I went to a doctor's appointment and I told her how I felt. And I told her I wanted to talk to somebody. I just wanted to talk to somebody to see You know, if it was just me, if I was just tripping, da 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 da. And so she felt because because you know I graduated from college, yay me.
Yeah.
I had more time, but when I was in school, I had less time. So I felt like I wasn't doing enough with my time.
Okay.
And then I felt like I didn't have people or things around me to do things that necessarily I wanted to do with my time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not saying I didn't get, you know, invited to places or people didn't want me to go places with them. But it was like I wasn't motivated to do those things because they're not necessarily things I, you know, want to do every weekend with my time, you know? So, with that being said, she was like, oh, you just need an outlet. And then you need to find something else that you feel is constructive enough for your time.
Okay.
So that's how this, you know, came about. And in some ways, it did take up the time I felt that I was, you know, uh, from doing videos and editing and, you know, doing all this. And it takes a little time. And afterwards, I feel accomplished after I see the end results,
Okay.
you know. So then that led me to saying, you know, well, a dream came to me. I think it was Jesus speaking. Pause. And I decided to revamp my business. And that's where, you know, on a future episode, you'll hear about Desserts by KG. Yes, cookies, cakes, and jars. Be looking out for it. Shameless plug. And that's where that came about, you know, because I felt that I needed to restructure, you know, myself and work towards retirement, which retirement might not be for another 5 or 6 years, but I need to start now and revamp myself for that. You know, I started thinking about what I want my retirement to look like. You know, what do I want to look like in the next 5 years, 6 years, 2 years and 3 months? I don't know. So that's where this, you know, pulling her into this situation, kicking and screaming, and all that came about, you know. So yeah, but I know the only person that at the end of the day that was going to save me
Absolutely.
was me.
Absolutely.
I couldn't depend on, you know, him or her or my children to make me feel better inside. You know, I had to, you know, work on that and do that for myself. And also, I realized that I had to take on a little less from everybody else. I had to take on a little less. I don't want to say burdens, because I don't want to say anything that my friends or family or anybody talk to me about or tell me they're burdening me with anything. But I had to take on less of, you know, this is our situation instead of it's your situation and I'm listening. It's your situation, but I'm listening. But it's not our situation. So, you know, the Captain Sava had to, you know, slow down a little. And that's, you know, what I did. Because, you know, and then I had a dream. I'm gonna tell you about this dream. I had a dream. And I was doing some things and it wasn't working and I was getting pissed because it wasn't working. And I had a dream. And in that dream, I don't know who it was, but they said to me, which I'm assuming it was God or whoever, said to me, slow down and listen to me. And if you do it my way, everything will work out. Because I know the future and you don't. So do this my way.
Was it Usher?
Might have been.
You keep saying my way.
Might have been. Hey, Usher, thank you. So I did that.
Okay.
And stop trying to step, you know.
Ooh.
So I backed up on some things I was trying to do and started doing step by step and came so far 6 really amazing cookies and some other, ideas and everything that I have. And every time I turn around, I'm like reassuring myself and being reassured by people who, are trying my items and things like that, that I'm on the right track to the launch of my website in 2025 for Sweet Cups by KG. Another shameless plug right here. But again, I say all that to say sometimes you need that extra outlet for somebody to talk to because, you got to start trying to save yourself.
And you can't do that unless you slow down.
Mm-hmm.
I think for those of us who are working class where money is an issue, we go, hurry, do all the time. And you have to make time to slow down and be still. So you can ask yourself the question, what do I need? How do I take care of myself? Because there are plenty of people who are nails, hair, body, haircut, car, everything looks really good.
Right.
Because you see that external care. And there is a storm going on inside.
Right.
So you have to be willing to take a moment to sit down and look at yourself, and that's scary.
Right.
Because admitting that you are wrong, out of pocket, out of line, and don't know what the heck you're talking about is a hard thing for an adult to do. Hard to do. I made it this far, I did this, I did that. Okay, well, just because you did it don't mean that it was the best route.
And just because you did it for so long, don't mean it's the right way to do it neither.
And you can teach an old dog
new tricks.
You can do that. You can do that. And you can't let age stop you. That self-care should never stop, especially as you age. Because as you age, you get all of this stuff thrown at you about your lack of vitality and your lack of value.
Right.
And so you can either go one way and go crazy and have that midlife crisis where you got the sports car and the bad outfit, or you can be introspective and age gracefully.
Right.
By taking care of yourself emotionally. And
you'll get signs. And it's up to you to see the signs and hear the signs.
Ooh,
and
what kind of signs?
It rained outside. Okay. Don't go to that club. It's raining. Did you hear about the plane crash? Don't go over that girl's house because planes crashing by her house. Don't go there no more.
Girl. I was thinking like you woke up and sat on the side of the bed and went, ooh, wait a minute. That's a sign.
No, that's just old age.
But that's a sign that something got to be different. Maybe you need a new mattress.
Maybe
you need more sleep.
Maybe, yes.
Maybe you're working too hard and you need to slow down. And so that's a form of self-care. Anything can happen.
That's true. Because he'll send you a sign.
Is it? How do we know he sent a sign? Like, what are the signs? How do you know what the sign is? How you don't know? How do you know? So I always want to know why. Like, how do you know? Because I can stub my toe. A bee can fly around my head. A bird can poop on the window. All that's a sign of what, though? Do you know how to listen to yourself? because everything is a sign to some people. You know what I mean? Because people, I've had calls where somebody say, "Oh, did you hear this? Did you hear that?" But what does that mean? Yeah, I heard it, but what does it mean? So, and did you ask for us? Okay, you say there are signs. If you ain't asked for no sign, how you recognize it's a sign? You know what I mean? When I went outside, a cat walked by. Sign. What's the sign? A sign of what? I didn't ask for the cat. I wasn't thinking about, what's the sign?
Mm-hmm. I remember you told me a story about
wait a minute.
A man that sent some signs. What was that story again?
Okay, so earlier we were talking about I think it was, I don't know, some years ago that there was like an email going around about a man on a desert island.
Mm-hmm.
And he died on the island. But before he died, a man on a raft came. And he didn't get on the raft. And then another little boat came. He didn't get on the boat. And something else came and he didn't get on it. So when he got to heaven, he asked God, "God, why didn't you save me?" And God said, "I sent a raft. I sent a little boat. What were you expecting?" And I think he was expecting a yacht and the clouds to part and angels and harps and all those things. And so sometimes when things come your way, they don't come the way you expect them to.
But they come.
And you have to but this is where the self-care comes in, right? Because when you are able to look at yourself, you'll be able to recognize things that are good for you as opposed to things that are confusing to you. So maybe those are the types of signs, if you will.
Yes, indeed.
Sometimes they are small, but you have to be able to pay attention, and you can't pay attention with your mind clouded and clogged all the time with other people's issues and other people's drama and old resentments and old hang-ups.
Right.
There's no room. This is like a crowded room, right? If you have a garage, let's say a garage, and you got a gang of stuff in your garage, there's some stuff that you're going to miss. There's stuff at the back, behind the thing over there, underneath the table, in the box, in the corner. You can't see what stuff you got in there that's good and what stuff you need to get rid of. Mm. And your mind is the same way. When it's clogged with, old hurts from old relationships and maybe some things that your parents missed or something that was said to you in college or your professor didn't treat you a certain way or the girls at the Girl Scouts didn't play with you or somebody, because people hold things for many, 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 many years. Things that maybe you or I or the next person go like, "Oh, that's nothing." But for that person, it's something.
Yes.
And so some of those things you have to let go of to unclog your mind, declutter your mind so that other things can get in, so that if a sign does come, if the raft comes, you get on there and you float off the island and don't wait for the yacht.
Don't wait for the yacht. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of A Juicy Podcast. So go ahead and
subscribe.
Yes, and share.
Please share.
Bye.
Bye, grown folks.
Just remember what I say.